Welcome to Brands Hatch. Thanks to Focused Events, we thought we'd pop along here and test out this baby, the 2010 ZX6R Kawasaki, otherwise known as a baby ninja really. It is green as well, which kind of fits in nicely with the fact that today is St Patrick's Day. And well, I've never ridden one of these beasts before. I spent the last 2 weeks on it though, and I think I've formed an opinion on what a lot of people consider to be the class-leading 600 super sport machine. Let's start with the looks, man. I'm not going to lie, I do think that the actual front nose, probably the most ugly 600 front nose that there is, but the whole bike comes together, especially when you look at it from the side, and I think it's a little bit of a work of art. Only obviously had it in the green and black colours, which I really like. I seem to get all my Kawasaki's in those colours, but I think she's a pretty little machine with a bit of an ugly nose. Thing is, I can forgive the ugly nose because the engine more than makes up for it. Oh my goodness. Now on paper it doesn't seem that impressive, 115 brake horsepower, 47 pound-per-foot torque, but something about this engine and the way that it just wants to be revved blows me away every time. I love the fact that on the Odo, on the rev counter, it has the lower number of revs grouped together so that as you're accelerating to about 6,000–7,000 it goes really quite quickly, and then as this bike starts to sing between 8 and 16,500 revs with this thing actually redlined, my goodness, the speedo kind of opens up and it just feels like that's where it wants you to keep it in that power band. It's the whole point of the 600s, man. And honestly, when you get it up there, she screams, and the whole emphasis of this bike is rev the nuts off it, get the right gears and just chuck it around, if you ask me. The handling package on this is pretty impressive. Now you've got to combine show a big piston front forks, you've got Nissan wavy brakes at the front, the chassis, the frame, the way it's all set up just blows me away. Honestly, she feels nimble, really taut though, not like the Juxa or the CBR, which are a little bit more user-friendly for the road. This actually feels like a track bike, which for someone with quite a bit of experience like myself, it's what I want. I want that feedback. I want a bike to actually feel like it's telling me things as I'm riding it, not just kind of smoothing it out and not giving you that input. Now this one has a standard can on it, but wow, she screams. As I mentioned, once you get above 8,000 revs into that power band, which is actually highlighted as well, which I quite like, on the rev counter in a big green band, she just absolutely will take your head off, man. Top end, that exhaust sounds immense. Hasn't quite got like a nice induction sound, say for instance like the GSX-R 600 at the bottom end, but yeah, more than makes up for that by being a screamer. Money-wise, it's £8,400, which comes in about the same as its rivals, maybe a little bit cheaper, and for that you get an incredible machine, man. Assurance Group 15, but don't let that fool you. This is literally a race bike for the road. If you want something more usable, look at the CBR 600R, look at the Juxa 600, amazing machines. I mean, the new Juxa's even got more power on paper than this. But if you want something for trackability and will make you feel like you're riding a race bike on the road, for that feedback, for that response, and for that little bit of insanity, it's this or the R6 for me. And having spent some time on this, compared to the 2 years I owned the R6, I've got to tell you, I'm pretty much falling in love with the ZX6R. This, I think, will probably be the 600 for me at the moment.